All right, good evening. The Chairman, Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center, our legal department, co-comrades and reviewers. Our film is the solution alive from Shasha Alimosho branch. We bring an update to you on the case of a domestic violence reported by Mrs. UDUAK fall against Mr. Basil Ndujekwu. This case was attended on the 27th of November 2021, where we asked the complainants to present to this office the kids, three kids they both have in their marriage before the misunderstanding. Okay, the kids have been here since 10 o'clock till this moment. We've not been able to see the man. Rather, we have been communicating with the defendant lawyer since morning. To this moment, we've not been able to have them in the office or the man to access the kids, have access to the kids, or even communicate with the kids. I think he gave some excuses to be on conversation. He sent a message, according to him, yesterday that if the meeting could be rescheduled, but to talk at length today and more than three, four times. We shall assure the office that they will be here. But surprisingly, this evening, we called him and he told us that the man in question cannot make it to our office without his company, and therefore they cannot make appearing in this office. Please join us as we interview the woman in question and the children that we have in the house. I think the kids have been out of the house. I don't think their father has set his eyes on them for the past 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry,
Yes, exactly.
huh?
12 years.
Up to 12 years. I think the last one was 2 years when they left the house. And the girl in question is 13. Are you 13 or 14?
12.
12. So 12 years. So she was a
Exactly.
year. You
Yes.
How old was she? Okay, give them my give the mom my just a moment. Okay, how old was your last daughter?
She was 2 years old.
2 years old
Yes, please.
when you guys left the house.
Yes.
Now she's 12.
Yes.
Okay. You had the man said you deny him access to the kids.
I
Is
have
it is
never
it true?
denied him access to the children. Rather, I had even gone to welfare to invite him so that he can come and handle his responsibilities, but he didn't even show up. So that is how it has been from then till now.
According to the man and the lawyer on the 27th, where we interviewed the parties, we thought that you denied the man access to the children for the past 12 years. He don't know where they are. He has never communicated with them once, and not that before we ask you to provide the case in this office today. Okay, let me talk with your first son. How, how are you, please?
I'm fine, ma.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22.
Yes.
Okay, did you have what is your experience as regards to the case between your dad and your mom?
I'll say it wasn't a steady relationship.
How?
It was like oil and water. They were not like they were not working together. They're like the marriage wasn't even stable at all. The marriage wasn't stable.
At what point did you discover that?
Um, while I was 11, I noticed that well in the beginning we moved to satellite town after my mom had completed the building which we were staying. Then
This what we're using before, please stop. Come back later. Right.
for a while, our father hasn't been showing his responsibilities in terms of support for us education wise.
No, you are just jumping from one to another. You talk about the relationship of your mom and your dad. I say, how? What did you understand by that? When you say they are just like oil and water.
Yes,
Oil and water meaning what?
they do not agree, they don't see eye to eye
How
on
did they give
points.
birth to three of you if they don't say eye to eye? Did they,
Well,
was it a surrogate?
no, no. Well, I think in the beginning they had love for each other, but as time grew, the relationship became unsteady.
How old were you when you noticed all that?
I was 11 when I started observing that it wasn't as peaceful as I thought.
11 years. What do you as a 11 years child got to know about relationship?
Well, as we're taught in school, family is like a peaceful environment where a child is able to grow up very well. But what I experienced was not close to what I was taught in school.
Have your dad ever beaten your mom in your presence
Not that I've seen, but they've exchanged foul languages together against each other.
against each other?
Yes.
Has your mom raised hand on your dad?
No, not that I've seen.
So you go to you grew to this till you left the house. Your mom took you guys from the house. You've not witnessed the violence to the extent of any of them raising hand on each other.
No, but I've seen a time where they argued to the point that she ran into her room and she locked the door and then he was banging it.
But not that he raised hand
Not
on her
that, not that.
until you left.
Yes.
Okay, if but you don't think it's normal, have you ever had misunderstanding with your younger sister? This very one sitting by you.
Yeah, we do argue because sometimes as we are all different.
Yeah,
So I may do something that offends her and she might see it as like she's right on her own terms and also some like I'm also right on my own side. But at the same time we also come together and forgive one another.
that is your sister.
Yes.
Okay, if you can have issue with your sister, the same sibling, what makes you think husband and wife don't have rights to argue
They do have
or
the right
exchange words?
they do have the right to argue, but not to the point where by they are cursing at each other. It doesn't make any sense. Like right in front of us, it shouldn't be done or exhibited at all.
Okay, have you for once spoke with your mom or calm your mom down a situation like this? We're taught in school that parents are not supposed to be exchanging words and all that in the presence of the kids or making the house uncomfortable for the kids. Have you for once passed the message you were taught in school to your mom that you're close to?
Um, Not at that moment, not while I was 11. At 11, I was only focused in school. But of recent, yes, I've been like trying to encourage her to like look away from the matter and just like bring things down.
Hmm?
Like of recent, I've wanted peace because she hasn't been doing well with herself. So it's more like a distraction for us having this case prolonged.
Sorry, I can't get you.
Like because of the case I'm unable to achieve some certain things like forward education and move like focus on what I really plan to do with my life.
That is because of the issue between your mom and your dad.
Yes.
And since you guys left home to where you are staying now, have you communicated with your dad? Have you for once called your dad?
No,
Do you have your dad's number?
I don't since I don't have it.
Huh?
I do not have it.
You don't have your dad's number. Have you ever had his number before now?
Yes, that was back way back when I had my first phone.
Okay.
But I don't even remember what the number starts from at this moment because I haven't heard from him or seen him.
Did you ask your mom about your dad?
She do tell us about him, but it's more like whenever she goes to court, she always tells us the experience of her court case, and then like, no, we don't want to meet that kind of person that's still not having a change in heart. So what's
Hmm?
we do talk about the case because she normally comes back home and tells us her experience at court, but she the way she puts it to us is like they don't still see eye to eye, and her experience is not what.
Like, what did she normally discuss with you guys if she comes back?
Well, she used to say that it's not what she expects from the case.
From the case,
Yes,
positively or negatively?
negatively.
Meaning she's experiencing negative from the case.
Yes.
I believe if you see your dad, now you can recognize, can you recognize him? Because he left when you were 11.
I'll be able to recognize him.
You'll be able to recognize him.
Yes.
Do you have his picture when you guys left?
We took many pictures. We always sat together, but we're not particularly close.
Okay, have your dad communicated with you people since you guys left via any means?
No, not for one day.
Not for one day.
Yes.
Did you ask your mom?
Yeah, no,
You didn't. You've never for once asked your mom about your dad.
no.
And what is the reason? Then
Well,
you know you have a dad.
yes.
Okay, what should be your reason?
My reason is since he neglected us, like the way I perceived it, like the responsibility part, whereby I always want to have a father figure, but then I'm not seeing that personality that I look up to. So I therefore do not want any alignment with him. That's why I never asked about him. That's why.
Were you told that you are coming to meet your dad in our office today?
Yes.
And how did you feel?
It felt strange because it's been a long time, and I was just anticipating what the result would be. Like I just wanted to I just wanted to feel what I've not felt in a long time. But he's not here, so I can't really get that feeling.
Have you graduated?
No, but I'm done with high school.
You're done with high school.
Yes,
You're 22.
yes.
Why are you not in school?
Well, it's part of funding. Where there is no money, there's no hope sometimes when it comes to ambitions.
You have hope in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
To your sister, let me hear from her. How are you, princess?
I'm fine, and you, ma?
I'm good, thank you. How old are you?
20 years old, ma.
You're 20 years old.
Yes.
When last have you seen your dad?
It's been long, like 2012.
2012. Same year.
Yes.
Same year your brother left. You all of you left the same day
Yes, ma.
and the same year.
Yes.
And you've not seen him till date.
Yes, ma.
Have you ever communicated with him via any means?
No.
Have you ever asked your mom about your dad?
No.
Is it that you don't know that you have a dad or you think he's dead?
No, I know I have a dad, and I get to hear about him sometimes, like when she goes for her court case and everything, but I
didn't like have the interest on like trying to find out how it is or anything personally.
Why?
Well, I didn't feel like it's worth it because he hasn't even communicated with us in a while. So the anger also like, since he doesn't care, like why should I care?
Did you have friends or do you have classmates where they discuss about their parents and their dad? Have you ever discussed your dad in school?
Oh yes, during those kind of situations, I just keep quiet.
You keep quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been asked about your dad in school by either your principal, your teachers, or any other?
Yes.
What was your response?
Well, if it's classmates, sometimes I just look for a way to like change the topic. Then if it's the principal, I just says he's fine. Probably he traveled.
Have you guys been going on holiday
Yes,
to where?
just reading. We are not much of the traveling type.
Within? To
Yes,
your aunties, to your uncles, to friends?
no, just in the house.
Or on holiday, school holiday, you just stay in the house?
Yes,
As in
sometimes
you go for vacation in your aunt to your uncle's house or
no,
not?
no, we don't.
Okay, did your uncles from your paternal side did they look for you guys
No, they haven't.
and your aunties?
No, they haven't.
None,
No.
including your dad.
Yes,
Everybody. Do you have grandmom from your paternal side?
I do, but I don't. I've only seen her once. That was when I was small. Before I think she passed away.
Did your dad have siblings?
Yes,
As in brothers, sisters?
yes.
Are they in Lagos?
Most of them are in Lagos.
And they don't ask for any of you?
They haven't since that 2012. Nobody has asked of us. But I remember, I think once or twice when my mom and him were still together, there was a time we went to his brother's house in Lagos here. But that was like once or twice. But during the from 2012 upwards, nobody has asked about us from his side.
Okay, when you turned 18, 20, I think you're 12 years ago, and you're 20 years now.
Yes,
So then you were like 10
I was
years.
10.
Okay, what was your relationship with your dad?
Oh, we were
Was
close.
you and your dad?
Yes,
How close?
not like the kind of closeness where we talk, but the kind of closeness where like as I was little, I just like to be around him as a daughter. So that kind of closeness.
And he was petting you, playing with you as a daughter.
Yes, most times.
So when you left, did you feel his impact, his absence?
I didn't really feel his impact because prior to the time we were about to, before every of the problem escalated, that relationship, that bonding, it started dying off.
Why?
I don't really know
You can't
because
explain.
I can't explain, but I know that most times when they do have their issues, like how do I say it? Like he doesn't like really. I guess he would just go out and come back late and all those things, forgetting about us having that relationship as he used to. I guess maybe because of the anger or the misunderstanding or something. I don't know.
Okay, as a girl child, have you been having communication with your mom as regard to that case?
Mm, no, really. I didn't like know what way to ask her about it because I was being careful to not to like hurt her feelings or to maybe open a wound that has been closed or something like that. So only when she talks about it or when she feels like talking about it.
And what kind of conversation do you have with her with regard to such?
I remember there were cases where I asked if he has asked about us when she goes to court case, and she'll be like, no, they didn't really like talk about us. So then I'll just wait to hear whatever she has to say about how the day went or something like that. Just how the day went. Once I just asked that question, did he bring up the topic about me? Because I was really particular about me since we were close. But once I didn't get that answer I was looking for, I'll just allow her to like tell me about her day, and then when she's tired of talking, then that's just all. I don't like try to find out any other thing.
Did you think of both families going back and having your father, your mom, and every one of you together? Have you ever thought of that?
No,
You've never considered that.
no.
Why?
Well, I don't feel like I don't know if it's possible. Let's just say I don't know if it's possible because I it's not for me but for them. I don't know if they can still like work out things and live together in peace.
Have you ever witnessed your dad raising hand on her when they were having arguments?
No, he has not raised the hand on her, but they've had arguments.
Argument as in heat argument, shouting, yelling at each other, and all
Yes,
that.
yelling and calling themselves names. Yes,
That is the highest you have seen.
yes.
Was your dad a violent person towards kids, you guys, as the children?
Towards us, no,
Not really.
not really.
So for your age, do you think can you really picture what you think is the issue between your dad and your mom?
Well, I guess they don't really understand themselves. Maybe they have like different point of views and opinions. Probably that's the major thing I see there. Someone wants A and the other wants C, and I don't know. That's what I see there.
Would you like to come back to your dad?
Yeah,
You will not.
yeah.
Why? What is it?
I grew up with my mom, so I'm used to her.
And you are happy that you feel as if there is no dad or you don't have a father while you're still alive?
No, I know I have a father, and I still look forward to like probably having a relationship with him, but I don't think my relationship with my mom can be replaced, like exchange for his.
Yeah, nobody's asking you to exchange your relationship. It's just that both they are both your parents. And from the look of things, not that you guys have personal issues with your dad, right? Not that there's anything, oh, this man is wicked, he beats me, he gives me injury, he traumatized me and all that. The issue is like it's your dad and your mom. And then the second, if I can really understand is that they complain from both of you that he doesn't look for you guys when
Yes.
you left.
Yes.
And not that there was any other major thing that they have done to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are getting married today, who would stand for you as your dad? Who do you think you can approach? Oh, I have a suitor, and that you have a suitor that wants to marry you. Will you go to your dad? Hmm?
I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't know. I have not.
because of it.
Yes,
You should be thinking of
How old are you?
I'm
20.
20.
20.
20. In your 20 age, have you been seeing marriage on social media?
Yes.
Have you go to an event or been invited to an event by a friend who got married?
Yes.
Okay. And have you seen among those friends where their father or somebody represented uh, their father, even though their father is not alive, their biological father?
Yes.
And at your age, what comes through your mind when you are in such an event or gathering? Have you ever honored where marriage ceremony and be thinking about your own self, like, wow, I one day I will become married, or I wish to, you know, have an event like this when I'm married?
Not
You
really.
don't wish to get married.
I wish to get married, but I haven't like fantasized about it.
Okay. Have you ever seen someone driving a car and you wish to have such car if you grow up or if you become rich?
Yes.
Haven't you in your entire life thought of this, like, oh, look at this beautiful or well organized marriage. I wish to have such or better one when I'm grown up or so.
No, sir.
Maybe you are not getting my question.
Yeah, I get your question, sir.
So as 20 you've not really had it
I've,
in your thoughts.
I've not really fantasized about marriage because of my school
But
and everything.
that is what I mean. That is planned for the future. Even when you are underage, you watch some marriage, even some video like movies. You can think about yourself. So when I grow up, I would like to do this, do that, or have such a well organized marriage.
Well, seeing my mom and dad's marriage, I'm not really excited about marriage.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking this kind of question, when the question the president asked you, you were not giving a straight or direct answer as a big girl you are 20. 20 is far, matured. That's why I'm asking you that if you don't think about your dad at your age, at least when you think about marriage, you should think about even your, if I thought you have a late dad, not to talk of living dad. Like, oh, when I will be getting married, who will stand as my father? Or do I tell my husband that I don't have father or I don't want to settle with my father?
I've only thought like if I were to get married, my brother could stand.
That is what I wanted to hear. You must have somebody in mind. You should think of something on that day, even though the day hasn't come. You understand? Okay, it's not you are talking. I thought you don't really understand what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. You thought your brother sitting by your side can stand to represent your father.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not saying you should love your father right away. It's something that you need to work on, something that you need to build. But I've seen a situation whereby some people went to the street to pick their mentally deranged father to work on him just because they have somewhere that father should sit and represent himself. You understand? So no problem. I don't know where president has reached before. So let her continue.
I know ask much again. With anyway, your mom have put effort to have brought you guys out today to come and at least have another face with your dad. We requested for that today, though when we asked that day, she was not really comfortable with that. But nevertheless, I have not seen your dad really. I've not heard from him though. He have his own reasons. I think it's reasons that he was blocked by your mom not to communicate with you people. So it's both parties words against each other. So we can't hold that strong on either of them. you guys here. But my advice is this: you are both adults, even though you are still very young. Uh, you need both parents. You need both of them. Not minding who you bond with, or not minding who you are close with, or who you associate with more. But you need both of them. If both of them are not necessary, God wouldn't have presented or keep them for both of you to grow up to meet them. Whatever be their differences shouldn't be most concerned about you guys. If you are to go into the relationship of your dad and your mom, then what you should do more is find a way of introducing peace among both of them. A man or a woman or couples that have both of you of your age should be able, both of you are matured enough to an extent to bring peace into your home. Do you get me? Because if you have a friend, male or female friends, talking both to both of you, and possibly start the relationship, and at the point the relationship is not working out, you cannot turn that person to be your enemy. You can just be normal, casual friends. You are friends, but nothing serious. And it happened like that. You both need both parents. You need your dad's advice, prayer, blessing. Everything is not money. And you equally need your mom the same way she will be there for you guys always. So don't say categorically you've not been saying him, and for the fact that he has not been communicating with you guys, then you've made up your mind everybody should move on with their life. Such lifestyle is not good, it's not the way of God. The two wrong cannot make a right. If your dad is wrong, you as a child, you should try to correct him and forgive him his error. If your mom is wrong, then you find a way to forgive her error. But holding it against your dad that gave birth to you, come what may, we know the world is telling something else. But the man still remain your dad. Nothing can change it until death parts every one of you apart. He remains your biological father. And every respect he deserves from you guys, try your best to give to him. We're looking forward to have him in the house and have every one of you back again. Let's hear his excuse. Let him explain to both of you the reason why he have not communicated with you for the past 12 years. We just heard from you and your mom. You have not heard from him. So before you conclude it, hear his own excuse. If the excuse is not justified, then you can blame him as your dad and still forgive. But if the excuse is justifiable, then you can also let go and let everybody move on. Before we go into the second phase of the both cases that are in court. Do you understand me? I believe, can your sister recognize your mom, your dad, the last one?
If you see your dad, will you know or
Give us
recognize
a
him?
mind.
No,
Huh?
no,
How old are you now?
12.
12. That was how many years ago?
2 years.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no, of course, no. Maybe
She can
they must have been showing her the dad's picture,
picture,
so
yeah.
through picture and some kind of feeling, if I may say. Yes, so, no, no, there is no problem. They just try to do what you are supposed to do. You understand? Like feeling, you build it.
We'll see the man. Let him come and
Yeah,
tell us one.
he owes you people explanation.
Yes.
Even though you've not seen your dad ever since you were born, so long he's alive,
Yeah.
any day you set eyes on him,
Yeah.
you may not need to like him or love him, but he owes you so many
Explanation.
explanation, many questions must be asked, because listen, you may not know what you are about to go in, both of you. You are about to live a life without father or mother. There is an independent person that you will need to answer some questions asked by your husband and by your wife, even by your grandchildren. So it's your father is something you need to know much about. Confront him. You are not doing it for your mother. You may not be doing it for yourself. You are doing it for questions that are yet to ask from your wife, from your children, from your husband, from your children. If you are somebody's wife, you cannot tell him the question to ask you. He will ask you question that pleases him and he need answer. I've not seen anybody call your father. Even though he's dead, he should be from somewhere. You say, my mother say, no, this is not about my mother. Where did your father come from? What is the name of his village? And what now happened along the line? You may not have good relationship with your father, but your husband want to know. And then when you have kids know what's called grandfather, grandmother, all those, they will begin to ask you, mommy, that person have grandfather. Who is the father? Who is your father? And even the father of your father, they want to ask so many questions like history. So now, I appreciate you guys for coming. If you never wanted to see anything that looked like your father, you wouldn't have honored this invitation.
Yeah.
I have to appreciate you guys again. But have it in mind, you are doing yourself good. You may not become his friend again, but you are doing yourself good. Because when you didn't look for him and he dies, because every one of us will surely die when the time comes, you will sometimes regret that if I know, I would have asked him so question, even though I don't want to see him or stay with him. So we're going to do this for you people. He owes you an explanation. Maybe when you are writing your biography, you can add all these things that your mother may never tell you. You understand? That is it. So we are not going to take much of your time. We are not even happy with him at this time, because you people have been here before 11. I'm the one that opened door for you people. Something after 10, by 10:30 something or thereabout, you guys were already here, and they never told us they are not coming, pushing here and there. This is the same man that cried out that he has been prevented from seeing his children, whatever reason. Then when I ask about the age, I say, no, you guys are old enough to have your own kids or family. And thank God you behave like what I was actually expecting from you people, being the kind of age you are, and I expected kind of being mature, which you just did. So we are still going to set a day aside, but we are not going to give you date right away. You have to be here. Then when it's here, we know the next meeting. You understand? Still, mother, live the normal life you are living until we see again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Any other? Uh,
We could talk about this date of this.
what?
That. No, this one.
Is it a bad day?
No.
It's coming back to
Okay.
yeah. All right. This is where we are gonna say good night and have a wonderful Saturday night. It's today Saturday. Saturday. Okay. Yeah, women can confuse people. When they change that for you, you go they ask yourself again. So Chris, today is still Saturday in Nigeria. I don't know if Benue State they are observing Friday or Sunday. God bless you all for your meaningful contribution through comment section. For those of you who don't know who we are talking about, when next they are here, we are not going to allow just audio, we're going to take video. So you will know exactly who we are talking about, and by the special grace of God, with your meaningful contribution as usual, we will have a very good and soft.
Thank you, Pet.
A soft way. Thank you. Don't let comment confuse you. A very soft landing.
Soft
Yes,
landing with you with the man.
with all of us. We are in the flight now, and we shall land safe and successfully.
All right, so.
You must be hungry now.
Chairman,
President.
but take me out for dinner. I don't have time.
Because you always close late, I don't like to take you out for night.
You know, breakfast.